So welcome to today. I'm Christine.
I'm Liz.
And we are Double D-Fense. We're an all-female New York Rangers podcast, bringing you fun conversation about our New York Rangers, the NHL and hockey, and so much more. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Christine.
Well, hi again.
Hi. Welcome back to Double D-Fense. This is your all-female New York Rangers podcast brought to you by the Hockey Podcast Network. It's kind of been, there's been a lot of news. This has been a big news week, but not a big Rangers week. It's weird. They've been off for a couple of days, and we haven't seen them play since last Sunday.
This is not a week to have a 3-day gap. I'm just telling you.
I'm ready
Today
for hockey
I was
to
like,
back.
I need hockey more than anything right now. But we're all hanging in there. It's tomorrow already. They're going to play. So we've had a good week. We're doing well, and so game on Sunday was great. And we had the time change. Hopefully everyone's dealing well with that because I wasn't.
No, it totally. And for those of you who have joined us for the first time, Christine and I are New York Rangers fans, but we also happen to live in Los Angeles. So we're on Pacific time. So a 10 a.m. start time, a 1 p.m. start time on the East Coast is 10 a.m. for us, which is pretty early on a weekend.
On a turn your clock back weekend.
Totally.
So I was well rested, which was great. But at the same time, when that game was over, I'm like, wait, what time is it?
And why is it pitch black out already? But it was good.
What time is it?
It happened to be a very fun game. That was the Rangers against the Islanders on Sunday the 3rd. The final score was 5-2. I feel like we saw a lot of stuff happen in that game. There was some very promising moments, and I just want to share my favorite part of that game was everybody, including myself, has been complaining about Mika not showing up, shooting wide, and Laviolette really split up the lines. So everything was all very confusing. And then on the penalty kill, as soon as Kreider and Mika got put back together, they teamed up for a shorthanded goal, which I just thought was so cute. It was bringing me back to the Craig Benajad days. So I feel like I was right with the world.
For that. I'm like waiting for a poem, Liz. The poem's got to happen.
I know. Well, as we get into the holidays, this is our 3rd year of the podcast, and everybody knows that we do a Christmas poem every year for the New York Rangers. So stand by. Stand by for that. That will happen.
So I'm looking, I think our drink pairings are working well too. And they're kind of coinciding with the scoring and everything. And you're right. Like Mika did step up and we're seeing kind of points. And I'll tell you, I know there's a lot of talk on some of the other players and stuff too, but they're silently or quietly kind of assisting, and they're getting points that you're just not I don't know what, I just don't know what people are wanting to see, So
I do want to start maybe for next podcast, I'm going to do a what are Ranger fans complaining about on Twitter this week.
I know.
Your boy Panarin I think he has been absolutely amazing this season. The way he can handle a puck is beyond anything. He's so good, and he's been such a sharpshooter, and really like a sniper in some cases. I think he's had an amazing start to the season.
I think he's been determined. Obviously, some of the talk has been, something happened when he cut the hair, and now it's growing back. So thank God. It's my favorite part. And I think he's just focused on kind of breaking his own records. And we are seeing milestones that are occurring. So Trocheck, hit game 300, 200, 300. So Yeah, sleep this week is rare. So if the numbers are off, oh well, I'm like, oh well, it's too bad.
We'll fact check it
But
later.
we saw the milestones, and this is what I've already liked so far in the season. We're hitting milestones, just like we did last year. Kind of, I think it's not going to go a game like too many games or too many weeks where we're going to see something hit again. And this is what I like seeing because look, I'm trying to keep up and see the stats, and when they come out, it's really fun to see because it's I'm not really following the 299s, or the close ones. The only one we are kind of keeping an eye on Quick. So whenever Quick is in, he's 5 games away from his milestone of wins, and we really, really want to see that this season. We wanted to see it last season, but we're looking at oh my God, we are looking at Shesterkin being amazing. And the chants are crazy. Did you hear like they were chanting because they wanted him to take that shot at the end to the empty net, and they were pissed off.
Selfish Panarin kept the puck. It'll happen. I feel like the Igor goal will happen, and maybe that will be the deciding pushover
factor. I like that everyone's getting into
sign for him to get the contract done.
I like the encouragement for that too. So that's fun. So great game at MSG on Sunday. Excuse me. Then, and so they are playing again tomorrow already. So it's been a really long, 3 days. So so we are seeing that. So another talk too that we'll want to see is this up and down of Rempe. So we kind of reported that he was sent back down to the minors, then they brought him up to play against the Caps, and then they sent him back down.
I think it's like they brought him up just to have a fight and then sent him back again. Rempe's interesting, and I'd love to get your thoughts on it. I feel like at the end of last year, he was showing so much promise. Then the whole conversation about sending him back down was to give him more ice time. But as far as I know, he didn't have a particularly great showing back down at the Wolfpack. Then they brought him up for this game, and now I think have they sent him back down again officially?
Yes. Yeah. Well, I don't know how he's playing on the Wolfpack. So, and he was only there for what? A blink.
Yeah.
So it didn't mean anything. I don't even know if they played, so, but I was chatting with somebody. The fights are, but I really, he's been talking. He wants to be a good player. He, of course, hung out and is now been adopted into Jonathan Quick's family. And so, and was practicing. So he needs to be given a chance to do that. So he can't, he can't be the fighter. I know people kind of want that. I think it's got to get a little established. Look, I've already had my kind of say on these big guys and what they can do. They're fast. They are physical, but also, use them as a screen, for things. I know that's Kreider's house spot there, but put one of these big guys in there too.
Well, I mean, look at Edstrom. I think he's just as tall, if not taller than Rempe, and he's shown to be a really good skater and a pretty good scorer. Like he's actually. I wonder if the fact that he's doing so well is sort of what's impacting, Rempe getting his spot.
Look, coach is fair, and he's been playing the guys that are doing well. So you got that Hedel line, and they're outperforming, I think, anybody's expectation in the beginning. So let them play, and don't necessarily worry about what you want them to do because they're not you, And I always say the permutations are different, for things. You can't always have an open sight, to take a shot or anything. So I want to see the kind of moves. I'm not a fan of those predictable shots, So, like Ovechkin, so he's in top of the news now. He's on the road. Like but he's also given a lot of ice time. So we were talking about that last time. And so he's getting closer to doing that. And he also he's getting points in all his games. So he's just hit a milestone of 60 point streaks to 5. So extends his point streak to 5, 60th career point streak of at least 5 games with a regular season. And he's passed Sidney Crosby and Joe Thornton, who both have 59. So he becomes now the 9th, it's a spot 9th and most in NHL history for that streak. So he's on a mission. Crosby's on a mission and kind of hitting a milestone too. So both of these guys are getting old. So I feel like Ovechkin wants to retire, but he's like, I'm not going to do it till I get there. So
yeah, the quest for the Stanley Cup starts now. The puck's dropping on the 2024-2025 season. Get in on all the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL.
Hey, it's super easy for first-time users to get started. Just try betting on a team you like and go for it. Go to DraftKings Sportsbook app, select your team, and place your first bet.
So, Christine, the odds for the Stanley Cup this year, DraftKings has the Edmonton Oilers to win the Stanley Cup, not the New York Rangers. And right now, the Rangers are at plus 1,300 to win the Stanley Cup. Those lines and odds are always subject to change. And if you're new to DraftKings, listen up. New customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code THPN. That's code THPN for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Christine, I love going to games live, especially going to games live with you. And remember last year that we got to go to game 4 of the semifinals of Rangers Florida in Florida. That was so awesome. And we did that completely with the help of the Game Time app. And, Game Time doesn't just have hockey tickets. They have tickets for absolutely everything, concert shows, not just sports. But for us, it's been amazing to be able to see the Rangers play wherever we are in the country.
That was such a great experience. And with that Game Time app too, if you remember, we did this kind of on the fly last minute. So we got great pricing. We got a great deal. It just a few days before the game, and we had the best time. So that was very, very exciting. So we can't wait to do this again.
I know. I'm telling you, I already have the Game Time app open. I'm already looking for when the Rangers are playing the Kings. This is not even until March of next year. And I can see that there are absolutely awesome deals to be had. You can even click on a seat and see a panoramic view of what you would see in the arena. It's absolutely awesome.
Yeah. And now they have that Game Time app. So that makes getting tickets quicker, faster, easier for you to kind of get what you need. And it makes it a really easy experience. So it's a good deal.
And I love the all-in pricing feature that you can select all-in pricing and see exactly what you're going to pay. There's no scary hidden fees at the end of it when you're checking out.
We've all been there,
haven't we?
And so, and as you're kind of going through this, with the app and the all-in pricing, as a reminder that, Game Time also, has a guarantee. So they guarantee the lowest price, or you're going to get 100%, 110% of the difference for that. So that's a great deal too. And that just, that's just a backup guarantee. It's always been a great experience. Can't wait to go, forward. We have a lot of games, some road trips coming up, and I'll let you talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot in store for Double D-Fense this year, and for all of our friends and fans listening, take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time Picks. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code THPN for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code THPN for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? It's game time.
It's game time. Woo!
Hey, Christine, I am so excited because it is the holiday season. It is shopping time. We are about to hit Black Friday and Cyber Monday. And one of my favorite things is getting an amazing deal that you wouldn't normally get, except with Raycon, because with Raycon, you get an amazing deal on premium audio every day of the year. But that doesn't mean that they're not having extra sales for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Far from it. They're actually doubling down on their amazing value by offering our viewers up to 30% off site-wide. So is that a Black Friday and Cyber Monday deal you'll appreciate every day? Absolutely. And one of our favorite products is Raycon's everyday earbuds.
You know, they've upgraded from previous models, and so that's pretty exciting because it includes plenty of new features that make them even more desirable for any audio lover. So that's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah. And did you know they have a 32-hour battery life and multi-point connectivity that lets you pair two devices at once, which would have been awesome for us because we travel a lot to Rangers games, and we've been flying together trying to watch a hockey game on one of our phones. We wouldn't have had to share earphones if we had.
We have one each. You get two. You get two. You get two. So yeah, that's pretty amazing. And look, we've got some road trips coming up too, so it makes it a great gift. It comes in cobalt blue, so you can represent, you know, as well with.
I love it. Matches the eyes, matches the Rangers jersey. And you know, one of my favorite features too is the active noise cancellation, because when it's loud, if we were driving, if we're flying, that is super important to have. And you know, noise canceling headphones are really hard to find at a good price point until now. And that's the thing with Raycon. Although Raycon's quality rivals some of the biggest names in premium audio, Raycon start at just half the price of the other guys. So they're already an incredible deal, even before you factor in the Black Friday, Cyber Monday offer of up to 30% off site-wide. I'm psyched. I think they're going to be great.
Look, suffers for everybody.
And as you know, we love the cobalt blue. That happens to be our favorite. And now's the perfect time to scoop them up if you haven't already. And don't worry, if you are not as impressed as we are, Raycon offers a 30-day happiness guarantee, so you really can't lose. It's time to save big for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Go to buyraycon.com/THPN today to get up to 30% off site-wide. That's right. You'll get up to 30% off everything on Raycon's website when you go to buyraycon.com/THPN. I'm just looking at the Metropolitan Division. It's right now. Oh, yeah. It's been a little rough for, well, especially the Penguins. Geez. So the Rangers are third. I mean, it's still very early on, and the games played range between 11 and 15 in the division. But the Penguins have played 14, so they've played more games, and they are second to last with 12 points. So they're having a little bit of a rough go.
So yeah, and right now, hey, we're gonna talk about the Jets right now. So the Jets are incredible.
Yeah,
I think they just played the Kings yesterday, and so they're hot, along with, I think, Calgary too. So we're still on the top with, I think, one of the least amount of losses right now too. Which
so the Jets have actually only lost one time, and they have 24 points. They're top of the Central, and the Kings are also doing pretty well in the West. They've played in 19 points. They've played 14 games, so they're on the higher side in terms of games played, but. The Jets have had what a great kickoff to the season. We have some good friends. We have some good friends in Winnipeg, so I'm sure we'll be hearing about it as we get closer to the Rangers taking on the Jets.
Yeah, and so this game we had on Sunday, right? They capitalized on the fact that the Islanders are full of injuries, and so that like capitalize on those things, and let's get those wins where they are, and hopefully that just keeps our points going up higher and higher, and that's kind of like without us getting injured. So it's it's early, it's too early in the season for the Islanders having so many people out. So I think that was crazy as I was learning that watching the game. I'm surprised that North Carolina's right on the top, and because again, there's still a huge difference in games. So when you're seeing 3 weeks in, there's some teams that have played 4 more games than others. It's crazy. So I think North Carolina had kind of they traded a lot of players, so the expectation was they weren't going to be as good as they have been. but they're off to a hot start too. So we'll have to see. Now the other thing too that happened was Dallas and Florida played in Finland, on Friday and Saturday. So we were talking about that. I kind of forgot. Yeah. It was so long ago, and it was light out. So
it was like a different season.
But
how that was super fun, and I was like looking at the crowd, like there's a lot of Dallas Stars jerseys for Finland, but I wasn't sure if it was family and friends that had traveled, or it
was half that arena. It was crazy. They were both,
I will be honest. I'm going to put going to like a European or like another destination for a hockey game, for an NHL game, on my bucket list to do someday. I think that would be so fun. I remember, was it last year that like the Bruins played in Australia? I think it was like a Bruin. I can't remember who the Bruins played, but it's been Australia. I think Prague, Finland, so that is something that I'm going to add to the Double D-Fense bucket list for someday. That would be such a fun experience.
I'll get the bank,
a little piggy bank.
Start saving. Doing that. That was because now it's coming back to me because it was in the morning and I kind of missed the Friday game, but they both teams split they both won one game, I think. But I think what surprised me was when Florida scored, I heard the damn Panther, and I was like, "What the heck?"
They brought the Panther with them to Finland.
I'm like, "What the heck? Why is that there?" So
I will throw it out there. I know there are a handful of people that do listen to this podcast in Europe. So if anyone has ever gotten the chance to go to one of these games, we would love to hear from you. I'm just very curious about, the vibe, the feeling, what, is the ice different? Because, I know in Europe there's, different size ice, some different measurements. So I have so many questions. I
know. I think we just have to go and experience it for ourselves. So, looking for a sponsor. United. So, who wants to fly us?
Kidding.
Look at that
subscribe button. Send us.
Yeah, like that's the way to do that. Yeah,
we will report. We would report back. Absolutely.
So the only other thing, so again, it's kind of been a slow week for us, but it's going to pick up. So we are kind of coming into the holidays and stuff. And so, so it'll be an interesting kind of take on things. Again, I like this time of the season because everybody's pretty much for the most part evened out. And now they're going to start doing longer road trips. And we'll see. I know that for those people who are on the West Coast with us that listen, and for those people who are listening on the East Coast that want to go to Vegas because it's pretty cheap to fly, it's like, come and hang out with us. That's going to happen after the new year. I think it's January 11th, I think. So it's a Saturday. Yeah. So a perfect weekend to kind of travel just for one game. I mean, so it's in the middle of its own, and then we'll have more. And so we're going to stay healthy through the holidays, and that's always the goal. So, watching, some of the fights, I think when Heedle gets into a scuffle.
I was just going to say every time, and he's like the first one in like the
he's ready.
Yeah. And I'm like, no, don't, like, what are you doing? It gives me like a heart attack when he starts going after people.
We'll have to start talking about, we need to do our own episode on what happened to their teeth. So I'm like Schneider. I'm like, oh my God, my cutie has no teeth on the bottom of his face, and I'm like, I don't even know what happened. And VC and
and Lindgren like wearing like the full mask because I think
he's going to do that like the whole season.
But that's my favorite thing about one of my favorite things about hockey is that there's so many sports out there. Like watching the World Series. You look at these guys and like Ohtani, who's an amazing player. Like I respect the baseball player that Ohtani is, but when he was a pitcher, if he got a blister on his finger, done for like 2 weeks. These guys literally
look what happened at the Islander game, So he came back with his whole face stitched up, and I'm like,
and you could see you could see the stitches still in it.
The blood was like this, and then he goes off and goes back with like a whole line. I'm like, oh.
Was it the Islander game, or maybe it was the game before? I don't remember, but I think one of the opposing players somehow the puck hit him I can't remember who, maybe it was Mancini. Anyway, the puck somehow like got through his visor and hit him on the side of his face, and you could watch it on while he's on the bench, just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It was so gross.
That's crazy. So yeah, so we'll have to do, or maybe we start doing a little guessing game where we just take a picture of their smile and guess who the player is by the fact that they don't have their teeth. So we have a new game to play. Maybe make it a drinking game. We have a girls' weekend this weekend, so it was a drinking game for that. There was a kind of a scarier kind of injury report yesterday with Blues player with Dylan Holloway. So I did watch the replay on that one where it just looked like the puck came at him and it kind of hit him between his shoulder blade and his neck, and he kind of went to the bench and they kind of put where he was kind of leaning to the one side. And I don't know if he got dizzy or whatever, but next thing you know, in the middle of a penalty call or something, all the attention and focus was on him where they stabilized him, took him out on a stretcher. I believe he's okay now. So it was definitely precautionary. So we are kind of watching that, it kind of goes to, I don't think the net guard would have really done anything, but we've seen that kind of thing go away. Again, it is a requirement now for lower level leagues and stuff that isn't to play now. And I think, we were talking to the Eds where, all the kids are wearing them because it's, it's a requirement there. But I think there's somebody on the Rangers that wears one, but it's kind of going away, on that one, which is a little disappointing because they had reasons why they were going to wear it. And then the reasons faded away. So the injury report for us is good. We were playing really well. Again, there is a true question. Does Miller play better with or without his stick?
That is massively up for debate right now. I'm going to, Miller is to me the most inconsistent player on the Rangers. I think there are moments that he looks absolutely brilliant. And then there's moments where you're like, did he forget how to play hockey? Like, what is he doing?
Oops. Yeah, I don't know.
And so we have an exciting couple of games coming up. The Rangers do take on the Sabres tomorrow, which is Thursday. And then on Saturday, they play the Red Wings for the third and last time during the season and have the opportunity to sweep them, which is exciting. I know it's really early on to be talking about that, but that's happening just based on how the schedule falls out. And then on Tuesday, they do take on the Winnipeg Jets. So that will be a fun game to watch.
That's my birthday, so we're going to be watching that game.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, note to the Rangers organization, I'll take a win.
And then starting on Saturday, November 30th, the PWHL kicks off. So that will be really fun, and we'll be definitely tracking those games.
Yeah, so don't forget too, again, for people who have not listened or new listeners, so to speak, my son, my man child, is our great West Coast correspondent. He's a huge Kings fan, but he also really does love and follow the PWHL. So he's a great informer, on the inside, but we'd love to have him on as the PWHL starts. It's perfect to get him on to talk about teams in the West Coast and what we're looking forward to the PWHL. Look, they've been selling out. They've been doing so well. They're already talking 2 expansion teams. So this is the first year where they have their names, whether people like them or not. A lot of thought in history kind of went into those names. And, and a lot of times they do takeovers for other arenas. So that's one thing I know that my son wanted to do is kind of travel and kind of see them play.
Yeah.
So that's exciting to kind of get going again for their second season. And if you guys aren't aware, the PWHL, all their games are free on YouTube to watch. And during their playoffs, there was interaction on message boards, which was super fun to kind of watch it. And then so what the leagues are doing now, like between the sign language, maybe it's a sign language thing. Wasn't it a sign language thing for the NHL? Where I was watching that on YouTube, and that was crazy to watch with the different things. So there was that. PWHL does it for YouTube with the chat on the side. So it makes it fun. So that's exciting to kind of get, and it's more hockey because I need to fill my time with sports. So, yeah, I'm ready. I might be able. Who's on the 14th? I think I might. I don't know. I might be going to that game at the Garden because I'll be in New York for a quick hot weekend next weekend. So who's
it is the Sharks. The Sharks are playing the Rangers on this.
Yeah,
so it might not be the most exciting game in the world, but
it should be good though.
It would be fun.
I mean, look, what's exciting is having to hear that chant. A coworker of mine was in New York for Iron Maiden, and he's like, I ran into some people on the train, and now I'm at a game, and I'm like, oh yay, I'm like, go say hi to my friends over here and over there, and doing that, and it was a good game, to kind of because it was Iron. So I was telling him like that's okay. There was just the right amount of fights and action and goals and cheers, and he had a great time. So and I was like, go tell everybody about us. so it was his first time at Madison Square Garden. So it was really super cute. I was getting texts, on my work phone, from him. So we've gained a new fan.
I love it. Well, on that note, Christine, let me be the first to wish you a very happy early birthday. We are excited to be
partying this weekend.
We will be celebrating this weekend, and we have some fun plans happening. So we'll share more about that.
We might make a drunken wine picture our drink pairing for Saturday.
I fully support that. Thank you guys for listening. Have a great day.
Bye, guys.